On the military front, the Israeli army, benefiting from its pioneering and advanced military industries, as well as modern equipment and technologies purchased from the United States, is considered one of the most modern armies in the world. However, contrary to expectations, the result of all these economic and military efforts is a concentrated set of fragile targets within the range of the axis of resistance, a bank of vulnerable targets whose weakness has been obscured by the mythologization of this country. But what precisely does this bank of targets include? 1. Chemical plants. In the port city of Haifa, there are 1,500 critical areas with 800 types of hazardous chemicals, one of which is the Haifa ammonia plant and its large storage tanks. A few calculated explosions in this port could completely shut down one of Israel's most important economic centers. Number 2. Transportation. In Israel, almost all flights are carried out through Ben Gurion Airport, located 15 kilometers southeast of Tel Aviv. This airport receives over 24 million passengers annually, while the next largest airport can handle a maximum of 2 million passengers. The concentration of Israel's air transportation in this airport has made it a highly critical target. Number 3. Drinking water. 85% of Israel's drinking water is supplied by 5 desalination and water treatment plants that have been built near each other, about 15 kilometers south of Tel Aviv, along the Mediterranean coast. Number 4. Energy. Israel's energy sources, particularly oil import facilities, power plants, and natural gas facilities, like many of Israel's important assets, are heavily concentrated along the coastal line. The two Rotenberg and Oret Rabin power plants account for about a third of Israel's electricity production. Israel has only 2 oil refineries, one in the north and the other in the south. Despite a sharp decline in oil consumption over the past 40 years, the Bazan and Paz refineries still supply more than 40% of Israel's energy. Therefore, in the energy dimension as well, Israel's strategic assets are highly concentrated and consequently vulnerable. What would be the impact of a successful attack on any of these concentrated facilities and assets? Over the years, with substantial U.S. military aid, Israel has created and annually upgrades many defense systems. The most well-known component of Israel's air defense is the Iron Dome system, which tracks short-range projectiles. However, this is just one element. Medium and long-range rockets and missiles are tracked by the David Sling and Arrow systems, respectively. Additionally, Israel has deployed ship-based air defense systems to protect the country from air attacks. With this description, is Israel's defense system impenetrable? Many experts believe that the most effective way to overcome Israel's air defense is to overwhelm the system through saturation or area bombing and a massive barrage. Hamas' attack on October 7th proved that this is an effective tactic. However, given the low destructive power of Hamas missiles, if this tactic were to be implemented comprehensively, it would likely be carried out by other elements of the axis of resistance. Some estimates put the number of Hezbollah's missiles between 130,000 and 150,000. Hezbollah also possesses various anti-ship missiles, one of which is the Russian Yakhant cruise missile, the most advanced shore-to-sea anti-ship missile in the world. Colonel Sarid Zahavi, founder of the Alma Research Center, in a report entitled "What if Hezbollah Joins the War?" compares the range of Hezbollah's known missiles with different regions of Israel, in which the Fateh 110 and M600 missiles play an important role. In the event of an all-out confrontation, Hezbollah could launch between 2,000 and 4,000 missiles per day, which would be highly effective in using the saturation tactic and disabling Israel's air defense systems. Conclusion: what has prevented this scenario thus far is the deterrence equations between the axis of resistance and Israel, which have caused the escalation of the war and the increase in its level and scope to be subject to complex calculations, resulting in the parties not currently activating their ultimate capabilities.